Hi, I'm Captain Andrea.
And I'm Commander Matthew.
And welcome to Nerd News Today.
And in this episode, we're taking a look at another Star Trek book from Eagle Moss Hero Collector.
That's right, we're looking at the Star Trek Designing Ships Deep Space Nine and Beyond. Written by Ben Robinson, Marcus Riley, and Mark Wright.
So this is a part of another series they've been doing, and I don't think they've done every single series just yet, but I know at the very least they've gotten through Next Generation, and what it is it's basically production art and all this behind-the-scenes info of how they design and put together all the different ships we've seen in the Star Trek universe.
According to the information on the back, it says that this volume is going to concentrate on DS9, Defiant, Klingon, and Cardassian ships, plus, and this part I really like, it's going to be dealing with couple of the movies. It's going to be dealing with Insurrection and Nemesis.
Interesting. So I guess they didn't include those all in the TNG book. It's kind of a continuation of that.
Yeah, which I really like because I know some of the movies get, a bad rap, which we can debate that another time. But the ships are pretty cool.
They are very cool, and I'm very curious to see the design process.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really interested in because I really love production art books.
Oh, same.
I own a lot of them from different movies and things like that. It's one of my favorite things, seeing the entire process from the early concept days to what they end up with, what got changed. It's all really cool to me.
Oh, yeah, I love the process
all the artwork
as well,
especially.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
So we're going to see what that's like for Star Trek, and they've had some amazing designers working on these things, and I know they've got some fresh interviews in this book also. Yeah, I'm very excited to check this book out, see what's on the inside, and ogle some really cool production art.
Yeah, I'm all for it. DS9 also happens to be... DS9 is my favorite Trek, so I really love knowing more about the process, particularly there, because I think there's a lot of detail work, because it's a friggin' space station, you know?
Yeah.
And the Defiant is awesome. So, I'm really excited to see what this is all about.
So this video is going to be not exactly a page-by-page analysis. It's going to be our first look at this book. That's what this is. This is literally our first look at this. So here's, I guess, your first inside look as well at what goes on inside designing Starships, DS9 and beyond.
Yep, so we're going to switch to the overhead and take a look. We're back! And this book is beautiful.
Yeah, I can already tell we're going to like the looks of this here, because I'm a big fan of concept art and production art books.
I'm a big fan of behind-the-scenes stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So this is going to have, hopefully, a lot of what we're looking for here. I've never actually seen any of these books that they've done previously, so I don't really know what to expect. But it's Hero Collector. It can't ever be bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at what they're talking about, the different stuff, the different ships and everything, and I'm just happy.
Yeah, I see a table of contents that I'm enjoying. So to let you guys know, we're not going to read every single chapter while we're looking at this with you right now. We encourage you to pick up the book for yourself if you like what you're seeing, but we're going to basically skim through this and try not to linger too much on things, but we'll see because...
This is my happy place. I love my DS9.
Oh, can you imagine if that's what DS9 ended up looking like?
Oh, no, I would not want that.
I mean, these are all the different possible ships it could have been. Wow. I mean, some of them just look like the classic Federation-style docks.
Yeah, which, that at least that would have been understandable, but I love that they chose to go with Cardassian, technology, and they created wow.
These are some of Mike Okuda and Rick Sternbach's original 3D stuff, using very basic 3D software, really old 3D software to make that. Wow. That's kind of fun just seeing how much things have changed.
I mean, look at wow.
Just imagine, back then when they were making this, the processing power it took to do something like this, and how this is now, basically the previous stage, and, the earliest forms of doing this stuff. The times they have changed. Wow, even this.
Oh, snap.
Wow, look at this design.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, again, I'm glad they landed on the design they landed with. See, this I could understand this
It's like
design.
an oil rig.
Yeah, I know, which is why for some reason it makes sense to me.
So it looks like an oil rig, in fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one I feel like actually I could see in a modern Trek series. It would fit in just fine.
In a modern Trek, yeah, but at the same time, I guess because I'm thinking so much of the habitat ring and how they would do that, I'm like, this stuff looks like it's in the way.
It totally is, but that's why I could see it in today's designs.
Yeah, true.
There's a lot of funny cosmetic things that they do in today's designs.
That is true.
Oh, man, this is okay. So this is good. We're already a few pages in.
Look, it's a little wharf.
There's a little wharf right there. That I love these types of drawings. These
oh my God,
alcohol marker drawings that you don't really see today because now all these types of things are done on computers.
Yeah, no, this art is it's my happy place.
It's a very different look that you get, today.
Okay, that's just cool and weird. Oh, they don't on Dracula. Okay, that's just what?
Now that makes a lot of sense considering the interior of these. They are very gothic in a lot of ways. They're gothic.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, that screams goth.
Yeah. DS9, the gothiest of all the Star Treks.
Well, it kind of is when you think about it, considering how dark it gets. Oh my God, this is absolutely my happy place.
Wow, there's the final sketch.
I love that they say unusual surfaces Alien was one of the... Alien and the Abyss are two inspirations.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Army... oh my god, that's like one of the best moments when they realize that DS9 is armed and they're using it on the Klingons. And it's just like, bam, let's turn this. Boom.
Oh, yes, this was designed by John Eaves. And John Eaves is also known for... I mean, he designed many, many things in Star Trek, but one of the things that he designed that is one of my favorite pieces is he did the phaser rifle from First Contact.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's a really, really cool piece. And in fact, in a recent interview we did on Trek Untold, we spoke with Max Cervantes, who actually talks a little bit about some of those props. And if we bring up that phaser rifle, he's got a really cool story about that. So make sure you listen to that episode.
Okay, this was one of the most Star Wars Trek things that they had, and I loved every moment of it. I loved this machine right here. I love this. In part because it's like a weird blend. It really feels like it's inspired by Star Wars, but they made it Trek. So it's like taking two of my favorite franchises and mashing them up into one.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Here, oh, there's the runabout.
Yeah, no, I'm loving this stuff.
I'm seeing rejected option, which means we need to turn the page and see the rejected versions.
Little man.
Oh, they were going to modify... That's interesting. They were going to originally modify an executive shuttlecraft.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause that's a pretty fugly design, though.
Yeah,
But,
I like the sleeker look of the runabouts.
It's funny how much sleeker, though, these look than as opposed to the finals.
That is true.
Final, yeah. This is because here's... this looks like... I don't know if it actually is the final design. It looks like it is the final design. It's interesting how it changed over that. Because, yeah, it was much more sleeker in those previous versions, oddly enough.
Huh.
Yeah, interesting. But this definitely feels more Star Trek-y.
Yes.
Yeah. Here we
go.
go. Here's... This seems to be closer to the final. That's kind of a funny looking ship.
Again, it has a little
Closer
bit
to the final, but not quite there
It
yet.
reminds me a little bit of something from Battlestar. Like that bottom part. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, kind of. It looks
The
like the old...
nacelle kind of vibe.
yeah.
Again, it has a Cylon Raider vibe.
So it's cool perspective on these things. That's what I like about them, too, because these are all done by, like, industrial designers or people like that who have that kind of background, and so they're always drawing things in perspective, like you can see it here.
Yeah, this
And
one.
the perspective is always the best. Like, when I went to art school, I had a sequential art teacher who told us, like, basically, if you want to learn how to draw perspective, go hang out with the industrial design kids, because they know how to do it. That's pretty much all they do. So they will do things from, like, crazy perspectives, and it's all correct.
This one, it feels like I'm a little child looking up in Mom and Dad as they're flying the ship.
Totally does, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is... Oh, yeah, we're going to try and probably breeze through this, I feel like, a little bit faster.
No, we're going to take a moment to hear, though.
All right, well, yeah, at least for the Defiant, but yeah, we're going to...
We'll go through it after we get past DS9.
At the very least, we're only looking at the pretty pictures for a reason, because if we start reading it all, this video would be a lot longer.
Yeah, things would get...
Oh, man, look at that. I want a poster of that.
Oh, that's...
They need to make that into a poster.
Oh, yeah, I like how they say when Ira Steven Behr took over as EP and showrunner, he decided to pick up the action to another level. Oh, so it was Ira Steven Behr who made the show. Great. Screw you, Rick Berman.
Yeah, check it out. It was originally going to be called the Valiant, which they would later use in another episode. But yeah, it was originally going to be the Valiant. It looks like a Y-wing over here from Star Wars, speaking of.
Not quite, but yeah.
This front part is definitely the Y-wing.
Yeah, it has a little bit. Oh.
But yeah, look at this design. That would have been not so good.
No, but this.
Yeah,
this is the one.
This would be cool for like any other alien in like the Delta Quadrant. But that's what a great unique ship design.
Oh, wow, they're talking about the Bajoran stuff too. It's funny. The Bajoran the Bajoran raiders and all the Bajoran ships. You don't really see much of them.
No, I think we only saw this one back in an episode which was with Dax and
Kira.
I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, like they read it briefly, and I think they actually made a full-size model for it too.
That's
at least the cockpit was.
I forgot which one it is, but what the name of the episode is. But that's basically where they're trying to get to Bajor.
Yeah.
To let Kai Wynn know about. Well, actually, to get past Kai Wynn.
Yeah.
And what's his face for taking over the because they were a bunch of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know.
Some Cardassian ships now.
Oh,
talk about weird ships.
The Cardassian. This looks like a Stingray.
Yeah, I think that's what it was meant to be.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm thinking about Steve Irwin.
This is a Star Trek video.
I know, but it's still...
Get your head in the game, Captain. Yeah, these ships always confuse me, because I was like, which is the front, which is the back?
I'm assuming the wider part is the front.
I know, but like the way they show... I don't know, it was always weird to me. Like, this makes more sense because you can see everything, but everything was so like hidden on these ships, too. It was an interesting design choice.
Cardassians are just a weird thing.
Yeah.
The Hideki class. Ugh.
What a weird name for a Cardassian ship. Speaking of weird names,
Yeah, right.
I'm not even gonna try to touch that one.
Was this
The Wallace and Gromit class.
Yeah, right. Wasn't this what's his face? Wasn't this Ducat's ship?
Like his own personal.
Remember he gets.
Oh, the freighter they had, right?
Yeah.
When he was demoted a few times over. Yeah, this is his freighter.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like this is his freighter. Freighter. Boy, this is his freighter.
It's a very Star Trek word.
Freighter.
The Freighter. Freighter Shinzon. Oh yeah, the weapons platform that we see a few times. These are
gorgeous.
It's just so fun seeing how they change and how cool they still look.
Okay, and even the Jem'Hadar, we did not get to see as much of the Jem'Hadar ships as I would have liked. That's something that I was constantly wishing to see more of.
Especially because their ships are mostly like what we're seeing here, which is a lot of the fighters. We don't really get to see like too much of their flagships or their stations.
Yeah. It's just I was always curious about them.
The battle cruise, that would be like their flagship, which I don't think we have. There's a nice illustration, I think, closer to the final version, but yeah, there's no photos of it here.
Yeah, and that always bothered me because it's like the Jem'Hadar were all these big scary people, and I loved the whole idea of them coming in. You know, they magically, can transport themselves. Well, not magically, but you know what I mean.
Star Trek, it's magic.
They science it, but I would have loved to have seen their ships.
And then there's the Breen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the Breen is one of the stupidest villains. It's like, they make the Breen so scary, and then, oops, they're not there. And they're nothing.
Also, it's just Bausch from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was actually what their origins were. They just wanted Bausch from Star Trek.
Yeah. Ooh, Klingon stuff. I love the Klingons.
Yeah, because they got to have some nice ships. So yeah, I guess we're going to get a little bit of a history lesson in the Katinga class here. That's fun to say. Matt Jeffries, the guy who designed the original ships in the original series. So here's, I guess, some of his original doodles, speaking of. Wow. Really, really elegant, simple little illustrations.
Oh, cool. The big, giant blurb at the front.
Yeah.
It's like, blurb.
Actually, this one is based on a manta ray. So
okay, that makes sense.
But I think all the ships, though, were generally, inspired by predatorial animals.
Oh, I'm sure, though. This one is really funny because it looks like that's a face.
Yeah.
Because it's all flat. It's like there are the eyes, the nose.
Got little googly eyes.
Yeah. Really, DS9 elevated the Klingons so much.
Yeah, I think that's the series that... the original series made them the big threat, but they were still very much Shakespearean villains. And TNG didn't do a ton with them. It was really DS9 that made them work. Yeah,
DS9 really expanded the mythology, expanded who they were, their culture, their traditions. It was kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
It showed why they were a threat.
TNG really planted the roots for what DS9 would go and run
Absolutely.
with. Yeah, because of course, we shouldn't undermine
how
much was going on there, but DS9 made them a threat, made them an ally, made them a very complex type of race.
It helped make them show the complexity of their relationship with the Federation, but really DS9 just took them to the next few levels.
This is actually one of the ship designs I actually dislike in Star Trek. Controversial decision, but I've never.
Okay.
I know there was actually a Playmates toy of this that I've always avoided buying because I just didn't like it. It's kind of similar with this design too. I didn't really like this one as much. The one I like is the one that we get in Star Trek 3, the big green that General Krug has.
Okay.
Which I don't think we saw any photos of, oddly enough. But these are all from DS9, I believe. They're cool. I just don't like them as much. They don't really do it for me.
That's okay. You're allowed to have your opinion. Oh, but this is from Enterprise stuff.
Yeah, because there is some Enterprise stuff in here too.
Yeah, but we try not to think of Enterprise too much.
No, that's just a horrible dream that UPN had in his head. No.
No, that's not fair. Because
they had good stuff too. They just didn't have enough time to really work their stuff out.
Nope, they got canceled right when they became good, and then they were given the worst finale ever. Ooh, okay. Romulans.
Yeah, Romulans. Let's see. This is a nice one. This is one of their shuttlecrafts, right? Yeah, because we're looking at the Romulan shuttles.
More Cylons.
Yeah, that is a total Cylon face right there.
There's a parrot!
And Doug Drexler with a parrot. Apparently his parrot was the inspiration for the Romulan shuttle. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was absolutely his parrot, and not at all a Cylon raider. Not at all.
Not at all.
No. I love that it's called a warp sled because, can't you just imagine space reindeer pulling this as space Santa's going through? Ho, ho, ho!
Vulcan Santa?
Yes, Vulcan Santa.
Have you been logical, little children? That is excellent. Enjoy this gift I give you. But do not enjoy it because emotions are bad.
Precisely.
Yes. I was like, is this a scene from the Star Trek animated
That's
series?
That's what I thought too! I thought the exact same thing.
The T'Pau. So we're in some Vulcan vessels now.
Which is also good. I mean, The Vulcans are another one where I feel like we know a lot about Vulcans, but also nowhere near as much as we could.
Yeah, we haven't spent a lot of time on their planet much, besides, like, a mock time.
But, well, no, we got some in Discovery, but...
And a little bit in the first movie.
But that's just it.
third
How do you
movie.
have Spock? How do you have Spock? You have T'Pol, we have Tuvok, and yet we know so little about them.
I don't know. You can't say that about the entire Star Trek stuff, because I
No.
don't really want to focus too much on the alien elements. It feels like, with Star Trek, you want to focus more on the human elements of who everybody is.
I
So
know,
that's
but
probably why.
I know, and the thing is, I feel like if we were to focus on some of the more alien concepts, we might also find the humanity.
Oh, and here we're going to one of the TNG movies. In fact, we're going to look at the Sona.
So, controversial take, I actually like Insurrection.
You know, having just rewatched it again because I had to and I was forced to, Insurrection isn't bad. It just feels like a long TNG episode. I think that's what people didn't like about it.
Okay, I can see that.
Because we wanted it to be like a movie and big and...
See, I felt it was big. It didn't feel huge, but it definitely didn't feel bad. I mean, I liked it.
It felt too much like what we already had seen, it felt like, and...
Okay. And then there's the plastic face stuff, and that's just like, yeah, the skin stretching stuff freaks me out.
I think another reason Insurrection was kind of not really that great, because it felt like it really didn't affect much either in the long term.
That's true.
Like, it did plant the seeds for, like, issues within the Federation, and, like, is the Federation going to fall apart? What's going to happen? Which never really got to be fully explored either, and then we had the final movie, and what else? So, you know, so...
Oh, but this one's kind of cool.
I like how this book review just turned into movie reviews.
Yeah, well, you know, it's hard to talk Trek and not talk about all the different things.
Speaking of movies, here we go with Nemesis.
Good old Shinzon.
The enormous OP scimitar. It's like, yes, I'm a ship. I have all the things. Do you have all the things? No, I do.
Nemesis. Now, that's a movie I was just like meh about.
Another one that feels like a long episode, but it felt better than Insurrection because it kind of like... To me, I liked it better than Insurrection.
I like Insurrection better than Nemesis.
Insurrection's definitely more fun, but...
I don't know about whether... Okay, so when I first saw the movies, I was coming into it without really having watched Trek. I knew who the characters were because it was impossible not to know who they were. Because, you know, if you know pop culture, you know who they are. But at the same time, it felt like you could understand everything that was happening more in Insurrection than in Nemesis. But, oh, look, we've hit Enterprise.
Yeah, I'm just like, you can just keep talking about TNG movies while we pass through this Enterprise stuff.
Archer's
This little
toy
Enterprise
ship.
void.
I feel...
Wait a
I
minute.
feel so bad for
Did
it.
they really just take a freeze frame just from the opening credits for this?
Yes.
And they just okay.
Yes.
They don't have any other things to use of this ship. Just
Ugh.
they couldn't get a clean shot. No one made a clean version of that without the titles on it. Well, at least Linda Park. I hope she gets some royalty from that page. Every time we show that page, she better get 5 cents.
Yay!
You're welcome. But check out, that would have been a ship that we would have seen later, actually, or a similar style of ship we would have seen later on in the Star Trek universe. But that could have been an earlier prototype for a type of starship. Enterprise did have fun ships, but that's because they had to be grounded more in our reality, in our time period, so they couldn't really be quite as wild.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind that. I just mind that the show just lacked so much.
Like, this feels like, you know, that type of sci-fi ship in that era also. Mm-hmm. Like, now we're talking Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Like, dystopian style ship with all sorts of grimy stuff going on.
Suliban. I forgot about the Suliban.
Yeah, Suliban were a thing who also talk about wasted potential. Mm-hmm. You know, I not to plug my podcast again, but I'm going to. But I interviewed John Fleck, who was Silic, the leader of the Suliban, and he kind of agreed with me that, you know, his character had, I think, about a dozen or close to a dozen appearances, and never really got to truly develop the character. He felt like, and the way the character just also ended as well was pretty lame. The Suliban were one of those species that like had so much more potential to be really like more of a threat, and they were not.
Well, Enterprise was all about the missed opportunities.
Yeah, and their ships were lame, so we're gonna just skip that.
Oh, that's not fair. They weren't that lame. They were just not as cool as the other ones.
No, but here's some cool ones. Yeah, here's some other Enterprise ships.
And the Tellarites.
Yeah, Tellarites, another species you don't really see a ton of. They were kind of like an original series thing, and then they brought them back, obviously, because they're one of like the first, I guess, races of aliens that they meet. And oh, look at that!
It's a Return of the Jedi reference.
Wow, just not even hiding it now.
No, they're being honest. You know, Eves is being honest about what his inspirations were. I appreciate that. I would rather he tell the truth than, you know, lie and have it still look like a Star Wars ship. Yeah.
The Orions, they had cool ships.
I like the Orions.
At least they're getting, or at least they got some more love, I should say, in one of the later seasons of Discovery.
Yeah, they deserve better. Also, Big Show.
Yes, also the Big Show. I gotta get him on Trek Untold someday.
That'd be awesome.
AEW, let's make it happen. Trek Untold goes all elite.
There's all... Gotta get Cody, too. I mean, just for fun, get Cody.
Yes.
Because he's a giant nerd, so you guys can all just...
Here's your
check it out.
Ferengi.
About time!
Yeah,
I've been wanting my Ferengi ships.
Well, obviously they saved the best for last.
But here's the thing.
Oh, or apparently they didn't save the best for last because we're only getting 2 pages? That's because this is Enterprise, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
what I was about to say. Yeah, this is Enterprise Ferengi. Where's the stuff from DS9? Did we miss it, or?
Must be a different book.
Yeah, I hope so, because...
I'm gonna assume it's a different book.
Because that was, like, the good stuff.
I mean, really, I think all they had in DS9 for Ferengi was the little shuttle pod.
They had, there was Zek's ship,
That's the shuttle pod, yeah.
but there was also Brunt's ship.
Which I think was the same shuttle pod, actually.
It just looked like the same, but I don't think it was.
I mean, it was probably...
It was very similar.
They put a different decal on it.
Yeah, I know. It's very similar.
But I think that brings us to a close of this book. And Designing Starships DS9 and Beyond is a excellent 5-star book. We're in agreement here.
This is a great book. I mean, I love that they give so much detail. I absolutely love it. Like I said, DS9 is my track, so getting to see more details about that and all the ships, that makes me so happy. I love learning more about DS9.
And I just love seeing all the concept art, because that's what I'm into. Like, at some point I will read the actual words in this book, but just, like, looking at all the really nice illustrations, like, to me, that's what I'm all about. Like, I just like this stuff, so...
I like looking at all the pretty pictures, and then I like learning about all the pretty pictures.
This is the kind of stuff, like, I used to have actually a book from Star Wars that was all the concept art and all the masks and stuff like that. And I would just sit there drawing those pages and copying it, and that's how I kind of, like, taught myself to do certain types of drawings. So,
that makes sense, yeah.
So this is the kind of stuff where I would, like, eat up as a kid, and I still do today. It's the kind of stuff where I would just, like, sit down and try and copy it. And...
Yeah, no, I would do stuff like that with comic books, so I totally feel you on that.
Yeah, so this is, I think, of all the Hero Collector books, this is, to me, the must-have of what we've looked at so far.
Yeah, of what we've looked at so far, absolutely, I'll agree with you on that.
But there's still plenty more we will have to see, because there's a lot more books coming on the way, and yeah, we will have to see.
So that's our look at Star Trek Designing Starships, Deep Space Nine, and beyond!
If you'd like to pick up a copy of this book for yourself, we're going to have links to it from Hero Collector's website as well as on Amazon, where you can use our affiliate link to help support this channel so we can keep making content for you.
Yeah, and with that, I'm Captain Andrea.
I'm Commander Matthew.
And this has been Trek Back Tuesday.
And we'll see you next time.